Well, let's see here. Let's see if we can get the... Jesus fuck. Can't even get a good light on there. Yeah. Wednesday, 19/12, 45 seconds year 2024, 5th month, May, 22nd day. Captain's log. This here is the Starship Enterprise. Look, all that wood has been sawed down and everything's kind of been clipped. There's still some clip here. Look, here's the British accredited bar oil right here. British accredited registry and chain oil. There's the chainsaw. That's got to be snipped down. Some of this longer things still need to be snipped down, but all this stuff right here, this can be stacked right there. There's a hole for it right there, kind of, sort of. So, might as well enjoy a couple throws here. Won't be long, though, because these CIA's hacking the video on the smartphone here lately. All kinds of stupid shit. So. Until we get this video squared away, the one that was put up, recorded yesterday, getting this wood. Throw a couple hammers on the pile here, just for old time's sake, just as a reminder what it's like to add more wood to the beavery pile. The beavery Gomer pile. Beavery Gomer pile. That's a 1960s, 1970s television show. Gomer Pyle. It's a military show. Gomer Pyle is an actor who is pre-numbed him on to being some type of numbskull soldier. A numbskull. He would act like a numbskull and everything worked out for him. And everything got messed up for the sergeant. Every time he tried to discipline the numbskull soldier, things went wrong for the sergeant. It's kind of like that cartoon about that cartoonist. He would walk around the streets and there'd be cars driving by him and everything. He would never get hit by a car or injured by everything. He just kind of like go through life, all innocent life, and everyone else was trying to take him down, and they ended up getting whacked. Kind of like the Road Runner and the Coyote cartoon. Coyote's always chasing the Road Runner all around, trying to get his ass, and every time he tried to get his ass, he ended up fucking running himself off the cliff. So anyway, so that's what that Gomer Pyle television show was all about. In other words, it was just with one's secure with one's innocence and naivety or whatever it is, just continue. It ain't no big deal. Anyone trying to take it down, yeah. According to the television show. But what's the secret? What's the secret to that? I guess the secret that the show never shares is that there's a certain invisible trust that's happening there. That's the one thing that the show never really hints on and mentions, because it's invisible. It's only there for those with invisible powers to see what's really going on behind it all. There's a certain universal trust that's happening as to why it is one can just mosey through society, others try to take someone else down, they always end up hitting themselves in the head instead of causing injury to the one they're after. There's a lot of cartoons that are all based on that stuff. That's seems to be a high-level, basic Vatican theme that's authorized in Hollywood. Share that story constantly all the time. Imagine that. It's kind of like goes along the realm of innocently not choosing to live in fear. Innocently, not even not choosing, just you know, there's a natural gut feeling and instinct to just not want to live in fear. And there's a certain universal protection. It's just funny like that, of just innocently just choosing not living in fear. there's a universal protection that's there. But in the television show, you know, it seems like that Gomer Pyle is not even conscious to that. He's not conscious to anything. He's just it's just a fucking. At least it's not portrayed that way. Who knows whether he's conscious or not? I guess, you know. What does it really matter? It's just a show, just a TV show. It's just entertainment. I mean, it's just a story. It's just another story amongst all other stories to consider. If one wants to consider it. I remember watching the television show as a young man, a young boy. I didn't even consider none of the television shows I was watching. To me, I was just in this kind of state, just psychological, innocent state that didn't really. Some people call this the soaking up stage. Some kids just soak shit up. They don't really. It's having an effect, but there's no consciousness to it. It's just kind of like something to watch. It's just entertainment, you know. This is kind of cool entertainment to watch. Feels good just to watch certain TV shows for some reason, without having any thought put into it. It's just, some people call it attractive. Some people are just attracted to watching certain TV shows, certain movies, or whatever the fuck it is, reading certain books, listening to certain music, without really just contemplating the reality of what's really going on, or a story that's being told. I don't ever remember focusing on any storyline for nothing growing up. Nothing. Focusing on the storyline at fucking all. Wow. I didn't start focusing in on storylines till fucking really 10 years ago. 45 years old. All of a sudden I become conscious to a storyline, to a story. In other words, someone's communicating something here on purpose. Now it's become a thing to be able to figure out, all right, someone came up with a story, now to put some effort in on purpose to figure out, well, I wonder what this fucker's really saying with the story here. Oh my God, it gets kind of inquiring minds want to know. It's got to that point now. Don't put the chainsaw up too early, because you never know. There might be something buried. Needs to be still cut. Da-da-da-da. Lay, lady, lay across my big black bed. That's the name of a song. Popular song too. Lay, lady, lay across my big black bed. Kind of have a pause right there at that word black, because that leaves it to the imagination. You know, if one wants to be conscious with it, big black what? For that half a second pause. Lay across my big black bed. It could be big black toaster. General Electric. The new bed-sized toaster. Pops bread slices this big. Pizza-sized toast. Extra large pizza-sized toast. Let go of my ego. That was a television commercial too growing up. It was called, Pop-Tarts and Eggos, like waffles. Someone could get some waffles, frozen waffles at the store. You could put them in a toaster. They'd pop up. And in the commercial, they would be so good that everyone wanted to be the first one to grab the first one that popped up. Because they just got up and they're hungry. And they got to go to school or wherever the fuck. They want to eat, they want to devour that thing. So they'd be like fighting over the Eggo. The first one pops up, they look at each other and say, "Let go of my Eggo!" That was the television commercial. It was all based on that. Let go of my Eggo! Let go of my Eggo! That's mine, damn it! I gotta get to school here in 5 fucking minutes. Plus that, I'm hungry right now. Plus that, you fat ass don't need no food either right now. Skitty! Let go of my dad Eggo. That was a television commercial that a generation of children grew up on in the 70s. Let go of my fucking Eggo, you bitch. Basically what the commercial came down to. They didn't say it like that, but really when one examines the commercial with some good consciousness, that's really what it gets down to. The teaching all the children subconsciously how to be a city counselor, a county counselor in a chair, because they're gonna be trained how to control every fucking thing. Let go of my fucking Eggo. This is mine. I'm in control here. Sit your ass down. I'm gonna get the sheriff out here. You just sit right there and abide by the rules, sucker. Let go of my Eggo, right? What's really behind the television commercial subconsciously is being programmed into a brain here. Huh? Wow. Inquiring minds want to know. Yes. Subconscious programming, that's what this stuff is called. And highly educated psychiatrists know all about subconscious programming and how it's implemented on purpose. On purpose. Ah, yes. High-level psychologists, they got master university degrees. High level. The word psychiatrist just means to examine thoughts, to figure out what one is thinking, and to cause someone else to think a certain way. That's called psychiatrist. A psychiatrist. In other words, he's a master at thoughts. And remember, thoughts is the boy energy. That's the Zeus energy. That's the dominating energy that rules that's been ruling the whole universe abusively, stuck in the mud with it. but thought in itself isn't a bad thing. Thought's a good thing. And it's a good thing to know what others are thinking. Because really, when it gets down to it, everyone has access to think about everything that the universe is, and now there's nothing to hide anymore. All thoughts are there plain for everyone to examine and see, no matter what they are. Although some are trained and told, you can't think about this or else you're going to go jail. Or you're going to have to pay, or all the other shit that goes on. It's all the same word. It's different ways saying the same way. It all comes down to, you don't think the way I want you to think. Well, I pity the fool. I pity the fool, sucker. Mr. T is going to come visit you with the account quest. Let's see here. Here's a fine for this, for thinking that way and saying that and behaving this way with those thoughts right there. $1,000 fine right there, or 3 years in prison. See? That's, you know, that's the dark side to the society with thoughts. That's the dark side. You know, like Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader. Luke, join the dark side. I want you to be like me and go around and control everyone. Best as you can. And if you can't, call on me and I'll whack their ass. Psychology. Yeah. It's just another word for thought. That's all psychology is. It's a fancy word. It's known as a doctor's word that most laymen on the street, you know, the pawns and the peasants, they think it's such a glorified, complicated word, but all it really means is thought. Just another word for thought. A psycho. That's one that thinks a lot. A psycho. Although they've been labeled as a bad guy, the psycho. Out in town, the psycho is labeled as a bad guy, right? He's psycho. Well, he thinks a lot. He's got a lot of thoughts. Well, there's a lot of county commissioners got a lot of thoughts too. They're thinking, oh, what kind of rules can I come up? New rules can I come up with so I can get more taxes and milk these fuckers out here in the neighborhoods? Because I need a new car. Well, that's a psycho too. It ain't no different. What is the difference? There ain't no difference. One's just a glorified criminal. One is considered a bad criminal, right? It's all about getting over on someone else when it comes down to it. Psycho. The word psycho has just been labeled a bad thing, that's all. It's not really a bad thing. The word psycho can also be a good thing. It's just that it's been taught predominantly in society to be looked up as a bad thing. When one says, you're a psycho, he's a psycho, they're a psycho, bunch of psychos. That's just one that thinks a lot. Whole lot of thinking going on there. Not much soul though, not much consideration for the body, because usually someone that's coming up with thinking up all kinds of stories and rules and regulations is usually a tax on the body. That's why bodies end up dying. And then they come up with the attorney for wills and stuff like that and expect to die at 70 and all that shit. Because of all that thought power. Thought power, that's the boy energy. Oh. Psycho, psychiatrist, psychology, the Cyclops. He's a one-eyed fucker. Cyclops, the one-eyed fucker. Well, he's only got one eye, which means he's thinking too much. And he's putting a whole lot of girl energy, that body into it. The soul. Dancing and auditing shit. That's vocal and body movement. Concern with the body, the girl energy, the soul. To have a quality. Cyclops only sees one side of things. Psi for psycho, the Cyclops. See? Yes. It's all hidden in words. All the words contain all the evidence if one wants to start studying language and words. The dictionary. Everything, all the clues are there to figure out what's really going on if one has a clue to look into shit deeply and to consider stuff that's not considered ordinarily to be considered in society. Especially when one has to work a slave job all day. There ain't no time to think about certain things at all. Not time to think about certain things at all. No time. Not enough time. That'd be more like the answer. There's not enough time because there's only 24 hours a day And eight of those hours need to be used for sleep. Just not enough clock time in the day to figure it all out. That's the problem. Just not enough clock time. Maybe if they combined 2 days together and called it one day, slow the sun down. Good. Can we get the scientists together so we can figure out how to slow the sun down and have 48-hour days? That way we have more time to think. Well, then the judge would come up with an idea. Oh, God, that's another 24 hours of labor here. We're going to get fucking twice as rich now. Get to work, you fuckers. We're having fucking 16-hour work days now. I can already see it. I can already see that. You know, that's what usually goes on. All in the name of, now we're looking to give everybody more time to think. And then after 2 decades, all that time has been converted into more fucking slave work. Slowly but surely, the frog gets boiled in the water. And everybody bought the story and thought, oh, that's a good idea, cool. I'm glad the scientists figured out how to slow the sun down. 200 years later, everyone's going, fuck, what the... Our forefathers and foremothers got tricked again. And they all voted for it. They all got talked into voting for it. Because it was promoted as the best thing since sliced bread again. Ah, yes. Vote for me. Remember, vote for me. Vote for me. I never knew there was a Mr. Me that lived in town. Never seen him, never heard of him. Vote for me. Well, hi, Mr. Me. Where you at? Remember, when someone's voting for someone else, remember, they're just voting for a story that's in a book. And it doesn't exist except in an imaginary situation. Vote for me, Mr. Me. It's kind of like Mr. Who done it. It's kind of like asking directions. Someone says, well, how do I get here? They say, they point this way and that way. You get over there and say, he pointed me over here. No, it's over there. Which doctor do I see? Go see this one. Obviously, I need to see a different doctor. Point me to another doctor. All right, go see that one. He cuts him up, cuts his arm off. Doesn't work. Which doctor should I see now? That's Doctor Who. Who did it? Who did it? Well, who's who? Oh, well, we don't know. I think he's over there. Well, who is just a story in a book? Because it's always, that's all it is. A story in a book's like Lane County. Lane County don't exist. It's an idea on paper. Just like rules. They don't exist. They're just ideas on paper. They ain't real. They don't have bodies. They can't walk. They can't sleep. They can't work. They can't hear. They can't talk. It's like a doll. Like a robot. It's script. It's program. Who done it? Who done it? No one can figure out who done it because it's a story. It's a story that's mud stuck and abusive and stuck on it. Nothing wrong with a story, but when it's controlling everything, abusively stuck on it, and wants to keep it that way forever, now there's a problem. A serious problem. But it's hard to see. It's hard to see. Very hard to see. It's a problem that needs a solution. A solution in commerce. Imagine that. Even Attorney Leahy for some utility company would agree for that. I saw one of his websites one year. It said above all things, search for the community solution. Something to that effect. That was Attorney Leahy. I remember having a wonderful visit with Attorney Leahy, sub-utility company. Ah, yes. And he told me, he says, basically, if it comes down to it, he says, I'm not worried about it. I've lived 70 years. In other words, he says, I'm just about done, so I did my part. I'm not concerned. He yelled at me, too. He told me, he said, pay the damn bill. Just pay the damn bill. I told him this here is supposed to be Treasury prepaid. We need to contact the proper authorities here. Just pay the damn bill. He said it just like that. I said, well, you know, you might get hurt with all this paperwork here. He said, I've lived 70 years. I've lived 70 years. And he wasn't concerned about it. He said he did his part. And he's a former state military attorney for sub-utility. That's Joe Leahy. That's right. I told the brother I'm a creditor to the bankruptcy. This was supposed to be Treasury prepaid. I'm supposed to have equal access to all the resources. I got some paperwork here. He didn't want to hear that. Did not want to hear that. And he was kind of looking at me funny like he knew exactly what the game was. He was looking at me funny like he knew exactly what the game was. Especially being a former military state high-level attorney, Joe Leahy. Looking at me funny like he knows exactly what the game is. and he's bound militarily to the duty to obey the Vatican order that was sent to him, which was, if anybody dares bring this vital information up, shut their ass down any way you can, brother. We do not allow any of this shit going on. Fuck no. This is a man's world out there. Girls and children do not get equality around here. There is no equality. Equal access to all the resources. Fuck no. No, that's what it comes down to. That's the way the system's been running for a long time. Until the girl doesn't shut up, she continues on with the same press. And it's still the same things being brought up. Now it's kind of like, oh, fuck. We thought we could just easily just fucking shut this fucker down. And Joe is realizing, and his friends and all the rest of the wonderful people around the universe and living organisms starting to realize this is more than this fucker. This is the universal energy that's fucking we're coming up against now. It ain't him. This is destiny. We're up against destiny. That's what they're realizing. You know, when it comes right down to it. They're up against destiny. And change is coming. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. Change is coming, just like Obama said. Change is coming. And that's from the Chicago Marketing Association. Financial markets. Change is coming. Because I was sent to Chicago boot camp. Living on the West Coast in California, they sent my ass all the way to Chicago. So this is an order straight from the Vatican through Chicago. Change is coming. And it isn't, and it's been coming, and it's no longer a coming, it's here. It is here, and it's gonna stay. It ain't going fucking nowhere. Except progressing on with the change. That's right. That's a wonderful thing. and even all those that fight against it, they really won. They really won. So it's just that, you know, for some reason they weren't given the universal gift to channel the change. They weren't given the gift. They have no treasury access to that gift to utilize it, to cause it, to implement it, cause it to happen. But for some reason, the universe has given this sisterly brothers thought and body combination, where the fuck this existence thing is in the backyard, auditing every fucking thing. For some reason, it's fucking channeling right through this fucking whatever this is. Whatever it is. Whatever it is. Some might call it a body, some might call it, this is Russell in the backyard in Springfield, whatever the fuck. Call it whatever one wants. Fuck, it just is what it is. And it keeps growing stronger every fucking day, every fucking year. And remember, it started here back around 2012 when the sub-utility electricity was turned off and kept off with no water, no utilities. 2012, brother had nothing else to do but go in the backyard, because no more electric guitar and microphones. It was all go in the backyard and sit down and be a yogi and start watching everything around and observing it. Figure out what the fuck this whole fucking enchilada is, besides what some church member told me. Oh shit, this thing's been recording all this time. Anyway, it's only been 32 minutes. There ain't nothing left but a little bit there, but we got all this wood flaggy baggied, and we'll get the rake right there. So we'll just call this a video. 30 minutes sure did go by fast. It seemed like it's been an hour. Anyway, pull a finger.